Okay, it's been a long time since we put out a free pick. As I said in the email I sent out earlier today, it's very difficult to find stuff based on the end of day data. You know, the market's closed and you go back and look at the daily candles. Very difficult to find something right now. Made a joke in the chat room today that most stocks on the NYSE or that we trade at all almost look like ADRs. You know, an ADR, an example, something that trades overseas like Nokia. Look how gappy that is. And that's because it trades overseas while we're sleeping. But, I mean, a lot of the charts look like that. Well, just look at the SPY itself. Look how gappy it is. So, very strange activity lately. Almost every day we get a gap up or down. So, makes it very difficult for me. Now, on an intraday basis, we're doing a good job finding low-risk setups, but not everybody has the luxury to trade intraday. Most people are working. Of course, we have some people that trade from work. But anyway, that's not the issue here. The issue is finding free picks based on the daily charts at the end of day data. It's hard to do. So, as I always have to do, I've got to put in all these warnings or stipulations whenever I pick something. Okay, so for like example, this is the pick for tomorrow, which is Thursday. MWW, here's the symbol, Monster Worldwide, MWW, had a big pop, about 5 days ago? Massive volume. So this puts it on radar, and then it's been pulling back ever since. Now today is the first day since this big pop, since it started pulling back, that it broke a previous day's high. Of course, it did it via a gap up, but it looks pretty good to me. Okay, so I like it at 873. That's my trigger price for Thursday. And here come the warnings. If it gaps up and opens at 9, right? Well, then 873 is irrelevant. But we will try to find an intraday trade for our members. But that doesn't help people on our overnight free weekly stock pick list. So I've got to put all these disclaimers in there. Also, if it opens down here at 8 because the whole market gaps down, we're not going to buy it if it gets to 873. Okay, we'll have already made a 73-cent move, and so we're not going to buy it. So keep in mind, this 873 catalyst price that we're going to buy it on Thursday is assumes that we open somewhere around the close from today. Okay, somewhere around 868. Here it is on 60-minute candles. You can see that big pop again, and then the pullback. Then today the little pop, and then a very nice sideways base. So really like it over this area. It could get going. So that's our idea. Okay, 873. Worst case stop probably below this base, 857. So what is that? 16 cents risk. That's a worst case scenario. It'll depend on how it opens tomorrow. 873 with a tight stop. Of course, manage your risk with position size. Don't take 10,000 shares if you don't want to have a big loss, and so on. You always have to manage your risk with position size. And I'm going to throw one other idea in there. Now this is a little bit lower volume. I said in my video earlier today, I'm trying to stay away from these. But OCLR tends to move with JDSU. JDSU has been very strong. OCLR, very low price stock versus JDSU. But I like this big volume pop the other day, a couple days ago, to 480. Now you've got a little bit of a lower high, 461. So OCLR, I'll be looking to buy at 462 with a subsequent catalyst there, 481. So in other words, if it breaks today's high, 462, it might break 480 and maybe get a nice little breakout. Percentage-wise, a very nice gain, so it's not a bad setup. Here it is on 60-minute candle. So a narrow range today, but over today's high, maybe it gets us a push through 480. Remember, we like stacked catalysts, and this is what you have here. A break of today's high would be one catalyst, and then a break of the high from that big volume pop a couple days ago. That is, believe it or not, that's supposed to be an arrow. A break of that high, really then you're above a lot of recent trading. So you could get a move all the way up to 5 and maybe beyond, who knows. But percentage-wise, pretty good setup here for OCLR, okay? Didn't even trade a million shares today, so I wouldn't bet the farm on this one if it triggers, but that's my trigger idea, 462. And you've got a nice long base from this afternoon, so you'd probably stop at worst case at 450 below this base. So OCLR 462, and we've got other stocks for our members, but most of what we find, as I said, is on an intraday basis, and MWW 873. So that's a couple free picks based on the daily chart. Please remember what I said about gaps. Those change everything. Doesn't mean we can't trade them, but it changes everything. So we may trade them if we get a gap on either one of those or some of our other picks, based on intraday setups that we teach. But don't just jump in if you get a big gap up or down. Everything changes. So we will follow up tomorrow night with a video on how we traded OCLR and MWW or any others that we find, if we traded them at all, and then how we traded them. So we will talk to you later. Have a great night.